Rev up your engines! People always want to know, should I keep an old car or get rid of it? He bought it for like $4 grand last year. Hey, it's made in Kentucky, not Japan, but still they knew what they were doing. They were just putting them together there. It's a Toyota Camry LE. It has fake alloy wheels. Those are plastic hubcaps, but who cares? What he wants to know is it worth keeping? Now, this is a 2004, and that makes a big deal on a Camry because it's a 2.4 liter variable valve timing. But no, it's not the one that burns oil because it's an 04. My grandson's got an 07 and it burns oil because of bad piston rings. They were using better piston rings for some reason back in 2004, and they don't have the problems. This thing has like 140,000 miles. It's not burning any oil between oil changes. This is probably one of the best, if not the best Camry ever made for a long life. Decent gas mileage, decent power. They've got a really good transmission, a real one with real gears. And there's no reason to get rid of one of these unless it's got a serious problem. And I doubt if this has, but we're going to go through it. He recently had the struts replaced. He went OEM. He reused all the springs and everything, but he put new OEM struts in the front, so it's going to ride a lot better. They tend to bounce. It does need a dog bone mount. This is worn, so when you start the engine, it jerks back and forth. No biggie. Take that bolt off, take that bolt off, slide it, put it in. Aftermarket is fine. You don't need a Toyota one for this. You can aftermarket online for like 40 bucks. Just bolt them on, bolt them off. Well, the AC still blows cold. You can see it's dirty. It's the original equipment alternator. It still charges the car. It's still got the original radiator on it. These things are really strongly made. The only thing I really see has changed, it's got a Duralast battery. Batteries wear out over time, right? That's only common sense. I was wondering about a clunky noise when he turns the steering wheel. Well, on these things, hear that? Okay, steering shaft is slightly worn. With it sitting there not running, you can hear tonka 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 tonka. Now, it's not structurally unsound. When you turn the steering wheel, the wheel immediately moves. It's totally safe to drive it this way. Now, if you get to the point that some of my really cheap customers in Houston did, where you're going down a road, you can turn the steering wheel like this, and the wheels don't move yet. Yes, it's time to replace it, but you can't repair them. You got to replace the intermediate steering shaft. A lot of the Toyota Siennas, the older ones like this 2004, had the same problem. You had to replace the shaft on them. They get to a point where you're turning and it doesn't feel safe. This is still totally safe, but if you wonder what that noise is, that's what it is. You can hear it inside the car. It's typical that they're worn, but hey, it's still totally safe to drive. When it does get a lot of play, the wheels don't turn, then you're going to want to either replace it or get rid of the car. This one isn't even close to being seriously worn yet. It does live in Massachusetts, but as you can see, is it rusted out? No, because Toyota knows how to coat those things. They did a really good job. My mother had a Corolla of the same year, and guess what? It didn't have rust on it either. That's in Buffalo. They know how to coat these things when they build them. It's not a problem that they have rust. They're unibody construction. They don't have a solid frame, but they're so well coated that they do not rot away. They just don't. Unless you get in wrecks and leave the smashes, and then you're on bare metal and the salt rusts the bare metal. As long as you keep the paint clear, you're not going to have any problems with that. So we'll get this new scan tool we're trying out. Hook it up. Simple, just plug it in. It's working, it beeped, the light's on. For those you're curious, this is a Mucar 892 BT. I like it because it's got a fold, so I can stick it here and I don't have to make something to hold it. So here we go, we'll turn the baby on, we'll turn the key on. Yes, it has a key, I like keys. Keys don't break, keys last forever. I always wonder, why don't they just spell stuff right though? I think it's Mucar, but you know, it's and dot, who knows? Will you just leave these things alone and use regular letters, please? This is very confusing. Look, the A isn't even finished. But we're gonna do an auto search. Far, it's working pretty fast. Oh, you get the cool, the car's being scanned like at the grocery store. Look at that. Whoa. So here we go. We'll do a health report, scanning through it. This car is 21 years old. It's got 139,155 miles on it. The trouble codes it has. 0. 0. Fire up. We'll look at some live data. Here it comes, popping up. We'll select all so we can see everything. Okay. Look at this. The equivalency ratio is 1.002 or 0.999. When it's 0.999, that means it's 1/1000th of a percent off. And when it's 1.002, it means it's 2/1000ths of a percent off. Pretty good for a car that's 21 years old and has 139,000 miles on it. I'm telling you, it's the best car they ever made. If you don't care about driving a boring Camry that never breaks down, hey, this car's for you. Some more timing's on. That's perfect. So here we go. It's an old car. It still runs good, and let's check it out. It's got a CD player, and I'll bet it still works. And it also has a tape deck. I'm so old, I remember the year that tape decks sold more tapes than records for the first time. It was in the early 1980s. Now nobody even knows what one of these things is for. You got to use your eyes, which is better anyways. Look at the mileage. This thing is still smooth as can be. It's amazing how these things were made. But check out the new struts after I roll the window up. They're working pretty good. An old car. Now normally these things are going to bounce around a lot more because people know they're Toyotas. They run. Even with worn out struts, they'll still run down the road. But he gave it to his daughter, so he wanted her to have some better ride and safer control, so he put struts on it. And hey, pretty good on these crappy roads, let me tell you. So here we go. Try to beat the lunch crowd when you can't get out of my little road here. One on the right, none on the left, so here we go. We'll give it a little gas and see what it does. Listen to that. You can barely feel it shift gears. It still runs pretty good. Almost like off the factory floor in Kentucky, only it's 21 years later, people. And even the paint is held up. As you can see, it still corners perfectly fine. Well, there goes one of the ducks off of the front. Well, it's just a smooth driver. The owner just told me, people say, why don't you get another car? He says, every time I pay a payment on my other car, I think, I'm not getting rid of that Camry. It's fun to drive, it's smooth, and it doesn't cost me anything except gasoline and an oil change every once in a while. I don't hear any bearing noises. They're still not even worn out. These are solid built machines. And as old as it is, it didn't have a single trouble code on it. Even with the new Toyotas, I plug in stuff, they'll have trouble codes for all the computer crap that they have. It'll say things like startability malfunction because the keyless remote didn't work correctly. Well, guess what? This baby has a key, and the key always works. So what's the verdict? Of course, keep it. Let his daughter drive it. It's a safe car. The only downfall of this car is it's old. So people on the East Coast drive like maniacs, and this thing is from Massachusetts, where the masshole drivers are that run into each other all the time, tailgate, T-bone, rear end people, and if this gets even in a minor wreck, it will be totaled. And he said he'd cry if that happens, right? That's the only downside, you know, because you can't insure it as a classic and say it's worth $40,000, because it isn't. But as far as I'm concerned, it's better than most $40,000 cars. It doesn't break down. The insurance is cheap. Hey, who's going to steal a 21-year-old car? Hardly anybody's going to steal a car that's that old, you know. So, you find one of these, even with 130,000 miles. If it's running like this, snap it up. Even if you don't want a car, you can sell it to somebody else. I'm sure one of your relatives is looking for a car, and you can sell it to them. Because they don't make them like they used to, especially an 04 Camry. This thing is barely broken in, really. And here's some bonus questions and answers. Well, you think things are bad here? They're worse in England, right? Just read an article that in England, running an electric car is twice as expensive as a petrol one. Now, they're only talking about charging it up, because it turns out that they really rip you off in England unless you charge your car at home. Now, the same's true in the United States, but it seems to be worse in England. They said that it cost 24.1 p's per mile to charge them an electric car at one of those charging stations that they have in the cities. But that it was less than 12p per car if you did it at home. So they're charging you twice as much. In some places in London, they said we're charging 3 times as much. Now, realize, of course, this is going to be true anywhere. I've even seen in the United States, one guy paid 5 times what he paid at home. It was almost $100 to charge up his Tesla when he went to a fast charging station. And the reason for that is greed and profit. Now, you buy electricity at home, you're buying it from the power company, right? Well, you go charge your car up somewhere. They got to buy that same electricity from the power company. So they're not going to pay what you're paying because they got to make a profit. They built the station. They got the land. They're paying insurance, whatever. So sometimes it's 2 times as much. Sometimes it's 3. Or in the case of the guy that I met, it was 5 times as much. They can charge whatever they want. And of course, utility companies can charge whatever they want too. They have what are called surge rates. If you use a tremendous amount of electricity all at once, they charge you more. And of course, that's what electric cars do. They use a tremendous amount of electricity all at once. Now, yeah, you charge it up. Let's say you're at a fast charge. You charge your car in, let's say, 40 minutes, right? But it's super fast, so you pay super high rate for that 40 minutes. Even though you might be driving that car for the next week or 2, they don't amortize your electricity over the week or 2 of use, and then they rip you off at prices. So, anybody thinks you're going to save money on that is nuts because it's only started now. If they really became mainstream with electric cars, they'll just start raising prices as much as they want. What are you going to do about it? You can't do anything about it if you're on the road. They can charge you whatever they want. And since there aren't that many charging stations, it isn't the competition of, hey, look, there's 10 gas stations within 2 miles of me. I'll pick the best price. And I've got apps on my phone that'll show me the best price wherever I am. It works like that, right? With charging, it's there, that's it. You know, you don't have any choice, and if it's miles and miles away, you might not make it. But there's gas stations all over the place, so that's not something you got to worry about. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.